This is part 2 of interior angles of polygons. Okay, we're classifying polygons based on their number of sides and using formulas for calculating the measures of interior angles and their sums. And we were all the way down here to regular polygons. Okay, so a regular polygon is a polygon that is both equilateral and equiangular. Okay, all of the angles have the same measure and all of the sides have the same measure. So it's just a special type of a polygon. And an irregular polygon is just a polygon that is not both equilateral and equiangular. So in this example here, all the angles are the same, but all the sides are not. That would be a rectangle. So that is not a regular polygon. Okay, so we have a property that applies to only regular polygons. So we said that the sum, let me put this first, the sum of interior angles in all convex polygons is n minus 2 times 180, where n is the number of sides. Well, we can find the measure of each of the angles in the polygon if it's a regular polygon. And then the formula for that is n minus 2 times 180 divided by n. So if it's regular, so in example 5, find the measure of each of the interior angles in a regular dodecagon. Let me scroll up just slightly. So a dodecagon is, if hopefully y'all remember, but that is 12 sides. So it has 12 sides. So 12 minus 2 is 10 times 180. But then make sure that the common mistake here then is some people want to divide by 10. Divide by 12. So it's n minus 2 times 180 divided by n. So then it's just a calculator problem. Turn on my calculator. 10 times 180 divided by 12 is 150. So the measure of each interior angle is 150 degrees. Quick check. Find the measure of each of the interior angles of a regular convex 20gon. Please pause the video. Okay, it's going to be n minus 2, so it's going to be 18 times 180 divided by 20. So 18 times 180 divided by 20 is 162. Okay, all of the answers we've had so far on the angles have not had decimals in it, but just to let you know, you could have a decimal for an angle measure, okay? But our next example is slightly different, okay? This says, if the measure of an interior angle of a regular polygon is 108, find the number of sides of the polygon. So this time, they're giving us the measure of the interior angle, and they're asking us the number of sides. So keep in mind, you cannot have a polygon with 2.5 sides. So your answer here is going to have to be an integer, or you've made a mistake. Okay? So let's see how to set this up. We know the formula for finding the measure of an interior angle is n minus 2 times 180 divided by n. Well, they're telling us that the answer to that problem is 108. Okay, so there's a couple different ways to go about this, but I would tell you that the first thing I think you should do is get rid of the division by n over here. Let's get rid of that because that will make it easier. So if we're dividing by n, if we multiply by n, this is one quantity, okay? So we're going to multiply this whole thing in parentheses, and so that will cancel out. If we multiply this side, we have to multiply the other side. So we're left with n minus 2 times 180 is equal to 108n. Now this n minus 2 times 180 looks a little funny. We're not used to seeing it that way normally in an equation. This could just as well say 180 times n minus 2. Okay, the 180 is right next to the parentheses, so that means that it does have to be distributed. So this becomes 180n minus 360 equals 108n. Okay, I know I'm going to run out of room here a little bit, but we're going to, let's subtract 108n from both sides. (180 minus 108 is 72n. Minus 360 is equal to, this becomes 0. So now we're going to add 360 to both sides. I'm going to write it over here. So we get 72n is equal to 360. And now divide both sides by 72. And 360 divided by 72 is 5. So the number of sides is 5. This is one of the more difficult problems. I know the algebra it takes a little practice, but please pause and try and do the quick check. If the measure of an interior angle of a regular polygon is 150 degrees, find the number of sides. Okay, I hope you paused and came back, but if you need to watch another one, here I set it up. The formula is n minus 2 times 180 divided by n equals 150. So the very first thing I'm going to do is get rid of division by n by multiplying both sides of this equation by n. And I'm left with n minus 2 times 180 equals 150n. Now I'm going to go ahead and distribute that 180 through the parentheses, okay? If you want to turn it around, you can, but each and every time you do this, you're going to end up with 180n minus 360. Okay, I'm just distributing it through the parentheses. Is equal to 150n. So now I'm going to subtract 150n from both sides. And over here I'm left with 30n minus 360 equals 0. If I add 360 to both sides, I get 30n is equal to 360. And then I just divide both sides by 30. And 360 divided by 30 is 12. So a regular polygon with 12 sides will have interior angles with the measure of 150 degrees. Okay, the last two problems are the most difficult ones, and with a little practice, I think you'll be okay with those. All right, good luck on the independent practice.